been doing a little bit of work, driving around at the stores. I'm gonna go coach in a. But I was reminded of something, a conversation that I've had many times with many clients, many people just looking to kind of finally lose fat and stop the struggle. And also, another idea, another concept that I learned from my mentor, one of my big influences, Nick Peterson. And this is the idea of appreciating when bad things don't happen. Okay. Now, the way that our incentive structure is set up is that, if you're the person who never drank to begin with, you didn't overeat, you never gained the 50 pounds, you were always in shape, there's nothing that happened, right? So you didn't, gain 50 pounds and then lose it, and then everyone's like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh, wow. You get celebrated. It's that quote that, I believe it's Charlie Munger, but he says, something about show me where I'm going to die and then I can not go there, right? And the point is, we dig a hole, we fall into it, and then when we climb out of it, the society's incentive structure is you get celebrated when you come out of the hole, right? And so we do that to ourselves, and then that becomes, normal. That's okay. That's okay, right? That's the way to get the recognition, to get the celebration. And nothing wrong with that. We all fall in the hole, we all do it. But the purpose of this video is, now that we've recognized it, you recognize it, we, for ourselves, you and me, we can start to just avoid the hole to begin with, right? Like, sure, it feels great when you have a problem and then you overcome that problem, and then, people celebrate it, and then you feel like you did something, right? Which you did, and that's admirable. But why not fall into the hole in the first place? Why not avoid, why not appreciate when bad things don't happen? And that's a tricky thing for pretty much everybody, because, if you, don't drink for a week, right? Let's say drinking is something you have a problem with. Or if you don't drink for a week, you don't celebrate that. You don't celebrate it. Instead, it's like you have to really dig a deep hole, and then when you climb out of it, then you'll feel some sense of accomplishment. Same with gaining weight. If you're only 10 pounds overweight, rather than being, struggling with that and beating yourself up about it, or, ending up gaining 50 pounds and then losing it, sure, you feel a sense of accomplishment, right? And you get recognized for it, but you could avoid all of that emotional disturbance and that turmoil by not allowing yourself to get there in the first place. And that's when you appreciate when bad things don't happen. So every time you don't eat an entire pizza, great. It's a weird thing. It's a funny thing that humans do, but don't do the thing to begin with that will put you in the hole. And I think it requires just observing this, observe it in yourself, observe it in other people, and just staying open to that and having some distance between these things happening and watching them, even if you're the one doing it, just watching it you can begin to change this behavior. It kind of starts to change by itself, right? But you don't know what you don't know. So the first step is always awareness. I remember Brian Grasso, one of my early mentors, he would always tell me awareness precedes change, you know? And what does it require? Like, what's the steps to be aware? Just observe, just start paying attention, ask different questions. So like one of the questions is, and this gets a little bit deeper philosophically, but like just ask different questions. Like one of my favorite questions is like, what would this look like if this was easy? What would it look like if this was enjoyable? What would it look like if, you know, if this was effortless? What would it look like? Is it possible that this could be effortless and enjoyable? And when you start asking those questions, you will start to see different things. You will start to notice different things. You know, everybody's familiar with Tony Robbins, and one of the things Tony Robbins always says is like, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. And I know these things are all like, you know, it's oftentimes they're kind of cheesy or lame, and people kind of dismiss them as all these are like self-help gurus and stuff. And that all may be true, but like, if something is valuable, fucking use it, right? If something is helpful, then use it. And so just a little thought, a little experiment here, you know, I would say start asking these different questions. I was watching, I don't remember, it was some interview. Oh, if you're familiar with the Exploding Kittens games, right, and that whole series of board games and card games, and it's a great story, by the way, because, and I think my first million podcast, they just did an interview with the guy, with the creator of that game. Very interesting story, and just how they went about doing things. By the way, I want to say they do like 100 million in sales per year. And he had some like ridiculous statistic, like they sell one of their games, and I think they have like 20 different games. They sell a game every 6.3 seconds. So very successful. But if you listen to the guy talk, he is putting this into practice, and you can see it. He asks very different questions. Like, it's very easy to focus on like, oh my God, it's so hard to lose fat. I get it. We've all been there. But if you start to ask different questions, like, whoa, and it starts to break you out of the typical way of thinking of fat loss, and then the associated emotional states and beliefs that people typically have around losing fat, which is a lot of like, even so yesterday I talked about a particular person who's been struggling for, you know, multiple decades. And I've known him for an entire decade myself, almost. And I've seen this struggle. And when I listen to the words, when I read the words that he's writing to me, I'm like, oh yeah, like you're just focused on how difficult this is and rationalizing and justifying why it's hard. Like, that's fine. Just stop that for a second. You can always justify why it's hard, but start to fucking A, ask different questions, and then B, just act, right? So he had messaged me again, and I was like, dude, there's nothing that you need to think about. Go sign up at a gym. Your problem is not finding like, what are you looking for? You just keep talking about how it's hard, but you're not taking any action. And I told him, I was like, dude, you know, there are so many great gyms. Go sign up at one. There's affordable gyms. There's expensive gyms. Like, go sign up for a CrossFit, a Barry's boot camp, a whatever, and just get in there. Like, your problem is not any of this. Your problem is that we need to get you out of your head and into the kitchen and into the gym. And the moment you step into the kitchen and the gym, your problem is non-existent. Okay? Because now you've started to move forward, and you just do one thing at a time. One move at a time. Just the next thing that's in front of you. And so he started talking, and I cut him off. I was like, look, stop right now. What did you eat today? Okay. Did you log that in your app? No? Okay. Open your app right now. Log it in there. What are you going to eat for dinner? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to do... It's like, no. Stop. Decide what you're going to eat for dinner. Do you have a scale? No, I don't have a scale. Okay, here. I sent him a link to an Amazon or a food scale on Amazon. It's like, order this right now. And there's nothing preventing him from ordering a $12 food scale that will help him track and weigh his food. And I said, don't tell me anything. Don't talk about anything until you order this scale and screenshot me a picture of it. And by the way, this guy's not a client. So all my only goal is to help people move forward and get what they want. We don't need to discuss all your struggles and why, a lot of times we do this things like a lot of coaches do this is you got to dig for the pain, find the pain point. I just like, that's very, I don't like that. We know it's painful. And so my job is to get movement. So I was like, look, dude, order the scale, open your app, go sign up for a gym. We have nothing to talk about until you do that. Until you do that, we have nothing to talk about. And you can sit and procrastinate and wait and do whatever and then think about things and feel bad. You could do all that. But the moment you actually sign up at a gym, you're doing nothing. There's nothing happening, right? And so we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on his progress. But that's what it comes down to, is like, what's the next thing in front of you? Do that. All the thoughts and emotions and etc. and the drama, the emotional drama, just put it on pause and just, what is the next thing I need to do? Are you a member at a gym? Not like a regular gym, but like, I encourage people to go to like group classes because it's fun. There's people there. You can talk to people. You can watch other people. You can learn from other people. You can laugh. You can talk. Do that. There's somebody telling you how to improve stuff, right? Yeah, not all group fitness classes are great in terms of coaching quality, but it's a start, right? As Gilderoy Lockhart says in chapter 6 of the second book of Harry Potter, when he's talking to Harry, when we first meet him, Gilderoy Lockhart says, I know it's not, you're at my level, but it's a start, Harry. It's a start. And that's all we, even from Gilderoy Lockhart, we can learn something, right? And so, by the way, that's one of my favorite chapters in that book, especially if you get the Audible version, because the voice actor who reads the entire series is phenomenal, and he does everybody's voices, and his Gilderoy Lockhart is just amazing. It's hilarious. Anyways, the point is, don't talk. If right now, I'm so tired of creating content to create content for the sake of creating content. My only goal, okay, is to get you to move and get one step closer to what you want to do. So right now, if you're watching this, if you made it to this point or somehow you stumble upon this, here's what you need to do. First things first, I would say, if you're not at a gym, go to a gym. And I encourage you, don't sign up at like a regular gym, like a big box gym with all the equipment. You're yet, okay? That's not going to benefit you. Even most people who are there, it's not benefiting them. Find a strength and conditioning type gym, a CrossFit type gym, a Barry's boot camp type gym. It could be Orange Theory. It could be F45. Doesn't matter. It could be Hyper Strength and Conditioning in downtown San Jose. It could be Sunday Strength Service, which I coach every weekend on at Hyper Strength. Sign up right now. Open the app. It's not about the money you spend. If you start to think about, oh, well, you know, it's $200 a month, it's $250 a month. Okay, well, open your bank account and look at how many times you spent $250 on dumb shit. Right? We all do it. So this is not a money thing. Fuck the money. $250 a month is not worth for you to change your entire life, possibly in the next 6 months. It is worth it. So step one, find a gym, sign up right now. Okay. Step two, if you have signed up at a gym, okay, cool. Schedule your next class. If you haven't, sign up and schedule your next class. Okay, good. We've made progress there. The second thing, go on Amazon, order a weight scale and a food scale, and download either Macro Factor or MyFitnessPal to track your food, okay? That's step two. Now, step three. Obviously, I'm going to recommend the burrito diet because it is the world's greatest diet, because it's not really a diet. It's principles that you can apply to anything that teach you how to adapt in any situation and eat and always be lean and get lean. Pick a diet. Pick a bunch of recipes. Not a bunch of recipes. Pick literally, go on YouTube or Instagram right now and download or write down 3 recipes. Simple, fast, and high protein and low calorie. Step 4, order those ingredients. Go on your app on Amazon right now and order it. People DoorDash all the time, but they won't order food to their house so that they can make it. Or if you're like me, go to the store. I like going to the store. Step 5, start practicing making those foods. That's it. That is all you have to worry about. That is the only things you need to do. So I'm going to stop right there because those are the main action steps right there. And you can start on that right now, like immediately. Don't wait. We're waiting. We're always waiting. I'm in that bucket too. Stop waiting and do the thing right now. I'm with you. If you need help, message me. Okay? I've been thinking about this a lot. I don't want 1 million followers or 1 million subscribers. I don't care about that. I want a person to watch what I'm talking about and then do the thing that's next and actually change their life and experience a lean, hard body. That's what's really enjoyable to me. That's what's really cool. And so I have to ask myself all the time, like, how can I do that for somebody? Well, for one, I need to tell you to do that next step. You can watch videos forever and ever and ever, but until you actually do the thing, it doesn't matter. That's it. Sunday strength service every Sunday at San Jose Barbell, or formerly known as San Jose Barbell in downtown San Jose. If you want my help, you know, and that's another thing I was going to say, along with joining a gym, right? Getting coaching, okay? Get coaching on nutrition, okay? There's all kinds of price points and all kinds of great coaches. I've been doing this since 2013, okay? I've been coaching people since 2015 online. I charge between $200 and $300. Go back and look at your statements. And you like, if you're like, oh, that's too much, $300 to change your life over the next 6 months, amazing. So I'm going to leave it at that. Do those things, change your life, and message me because I love to hear people getting what they want.